Taco Podcast. Today, me and Crystal will be talking about what is it like to be in a relationship with somebody who is a YouTube or a media creator. And I thought it would be an interesting topic that we could address to kind of give you a look behind the scenes of what it's like and how it affects the dynamics of a family for around somebody who is a YouTube creator. Now, this is not going to be the way that it may affect every YouTube creator, but this is definitely how it affects me and how it affects my wife and my children. So, do you want me to go first, or do you
Yeah,
want to
go
go
ahead,
first?
babe.
Okay. So with me starting off on YouTube, this is all a completely new journey for me. I can't program my cell phone. Yeah, it's true. She'll admit it. I mean, I can't program my cell phone, and when I get a new cell phone, I don't know how to get the numbers from one cell phone to another. I'm completely lost. Uh, so many times, if I have like a technical issue, or with a software program or something, I come to my wife and my daughter and I say, "Fix it,
Yeah.
fix it."
We see
Um,
him with a piece of technology in his hand and we run away.
yes, I would too, because I have no idea. I am an analog man living in a digital world.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean that's true.
I know.
I mean, I just don't understand this. So the learning curve for me to start a YouTube channel was great. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to do it. And if somebody gave me a piece of advice, usually I couldn't implement it right away until I learned steps A, B, C, and D. Before I ever got to that piece of advice that and be able to implement what had just told me. So yeah, there was a sharp learning curve, which led to an extraordinary amount of stress for me. And because I'm one of those people in this world that I refuse to fail. I have to I have to win, and it's not that I have to win at all costs. I have to win because I feel like there's so much depending upon okay, my well-being, my financially well-being, my mental well-being. I don't want to think that okay, you know what, I could have done this better. I left something behind and I didn't address something and I didn't tackle that because I half laxed it, or what, can I say the other word?
Well, we're not monetized. You can say
Okay,
all the
yeah,
words you want.
half-assed it. Well, I mean, YouTube is running ads on
Say
our
all the
stuff.
what? I thought-
YouTube is running ads on our stuff right now.
But we're not monetized.
I know they're keeping 100% of the money.
Rude.
It's they changed their algorithm and their monetization. It's harder now to get into the YPP program, the YouTube partner program, in order to become monetized. That's a whole other thing. But they run ads now on things that are monetizable. They're not against policy, but they also are, the channel itself or the creator is not monetized. Maybe they have 10,000 and they got kicked out of the YPP program. They're running ads on their content now, and they're keeping 100% of the money. But I digress. Anyways, so the stress levels when I started this off was extraordinarily high, and I want I want to make this in my content in all my channels be the best that they can be, and not knowing what I was doing, not knowing how to do it, and then reaching out to try to find people who could initially give me advice on what to do and how to do it. I kept on running into a roadblock of, there are channels out there, they say they will help you. They say they will show you the ropes to show you what to do first, second, third, A, B, C, and D. But they want money. They all want some money. There's nothing in it for them unless there's money in it for them. So right away I said, okay, I'm going to make this, this is my journey. My journey is truth, and to make sure that I can factually support everything that I do, as far as anything I say, I can back it up, and I will welcome any claim. If somebody thinks that I ever hurt them or disparage them or anything else, or that I was wrong at all. I mean, I won't fight it out in a court of public opinion, but I'll take it to to a legal setting. But also, I made it my mission that to help somebody else, to always make sure that I help somebody else who was trying to start, and actually give them the information and steps and everything else, so they didn't have to pay for it, so they didn't fall into the same pit traps that I did. And being competitive like I am, I wanted to grow my content, my channels, as fast as I could, and I wanted people to watch them. But at the same time, I never reached out and said to my friends and family and everybody on Facebook and other social media, hey, come subscribe to my new thing. Because I was kind of afraid of the fact that if I failed at this, that, people were going to, who I knew, were going to say, hey, didn't you do that thing on YouTube for a while? You failure. I didn't want that. Nobody wants that. But I also didn't want to pester them, and I wanted to organically grow the content. So I'm telling you all this to give you an idea of just how I ratcheted up the stress level for myself so much in the beginning, to the point where, I mean, I know I had to be an extreme pest to my wife and to everybody else around me, and it's not that I took it out on them, the stress, but it definitely affected my life, and my health, and it affected everything within my life to start this journey, because I was so driven to get somewhere, to get to that next plateau, because I set so many goals out along the way for myself, and if I didn't meet those goals, it drove me even more, and I started cutting off everybody, and anything around me that was supposed to be there for my social, and my well-being. But it's a crazy system, and I fell into it, and it's not a pretty thing. Now, I don't want everybody to think that the YouTube, starting the channel and everything else has to be this way. It's what I made it to be. I made it to be that way because of who I am. And I don't know, the stress is high, for me. I mean, this is all I do, and I don't accept failure very well. So, and it really hurts me that a lot of people sat back and they watched me making mistakes in the beginning and never bothered to even tell me, I could have told you not to do that. Don't do this either. What you should do is do this, but don't do that and that. So, a lot of people who I trusted, who were in this platform already, I mean, those relationships have all ended because I can't get over that, the fact that they didn't, and they weren't going to tell me when things were bad and what I was doing wrong, and they just wanted me to fall and they wanted to watch it. Sure, you got to fall and skin your knee sometimes to learn, not what the right from wrong, but to watch me fail at the same things over and over again, and then watch me fail, and stand back, go, ooh. But there's been a lot of good on top of it all. I mean, I've met a lot of great people. I've made some really good friends over this journey, but there have also been other issues with security, harassment, stalking. Um, I've met fans outside of YouTube. I mean, away from the computer. I met them at stores or social events, and they've wanted to take pictures with me. I'm totally cool with that. I'm willing to say hello, take get together and I'll take a photograph or two with them. But I absolutely refuse to allow somebody to take pictures of my minor child. And I've seen a lot of hatred because of that. And then an individual who I refuse to allow to take pictures of me and my minor child then went on a smear campaign, after me, which then ratcheted up my hatred and my, stress level even more. So what do you think it's like being married or being in a relationship with a YouTube creator? How has YouTube and what I've been doing on this journey affected you?
Well, the thing is, the biggest how do you? Let's see. There was that one time when we were driving for one of the few family vacations that we get to take because we have dogs, and once you have dogs, you can never, do things together, ever. And you wanted to stop midway and do some filming.
Oops.
Yeah. Pull over
Yeah,
here.
it was a murder scene where it was on the private road that led to the area where a juvenile was murdered. I wanted to stop and film there. So yeah,
I'm on vacation. He's like, hold on, I just want to get some photos of this place where this person died 5 years ago. There's billions of us. Somebody probably died everywhere. Take a photo on the highway and let's just move on.
Yeah, that's not me though. I wanted to get that. I wanted to shoot the video there.
I think one of the main
Unfortunately,
issues,
the road was really busy.
from my point of view, is just that, Will and I have this channel together, and I don't contribute very much to it because YouTube is Will's full-time job, but I have a full-time job, and I just don't have the time to dedicate to 2 full-time jobs, which leaves Bill with the bulk of the work as far as this channel goes, which he's all right with. We discussed that beforehand. We one time actually had me, running out of the house going, I have things to do.
Yeah.
And it does interfere with filming sometimes. As a supervisor, if somebody calls out or something like that happens, I am the person who fills in. So I don't, one would think that you have a steady schedule, and for the most part I do, but anytime something happens, then my schedule is no longer steady. So Will has to, he's in the middle of filming. Okay, well, can you be done in an hour? Because I have to go into the office, and then I'll, leave and take a 3-hour, I'll do a split shift. I'll go to work and I'll do X number of hours, then I'll come back so you can finish what you're doing, and then I'll go back to work. So it does actually occasionally lead for a really long day because I'm trying to accommodate Will's schedule for filming and editing into an already crammed day as far as working full-time. And anybody who's worked as a supervisor knows that you might be scheduled for 8 hours, but you're working way more than 8 hours. You're also checking emails during the day and talking to employees and talking to your manager and talking to other supervisors and coordinating things, and it makes it difficult. And it makes it difficult for Will also because in addition to that, we're also wrangling a toddler.
Yeah. A very active one.
Yeah. So, and Cyberpunk 2077 just came out, so you got to work in hours for that.
What's that?
That game that I've been playing.
Oh, it's a game. I'm sure the people out there in YouTube land probably don't know what Cyberpunk 77 is.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure our
Is it
viewers
77?
know. Yeah, Cyberpunk 2077.
2077. Oh, I don't know. But okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally, I don't get days off. There isn't a single day of the week that I take off. Between my first channel, this channel, and my new channel that's starting on January 1st, I mean, I don't get any days off. The one day of the week that I go golfing, normally depending upon the season, I mean, but during the summer season, it's twice a week. It's on Saturday and Mondays. But during then, I have filming that I have to do, editing, and then on Saturday mornings when before I go golfing, I do a live stream every single Saturday. 119 of them. I've never missed one.
Maybe
Well,
what Will
I
should
missed one,
do is
and
he
that was
should live
because
stream his golfing. Huh?
yeah. See, but that's the problem is I don't do anything there, and I've been asked that by my friends if I would do a live stream with them while we golf, and it's the one safe refuge that I have. I get to leave everything alone when I'm there. I turn my phone off. I put it in my golf bag and I don't even listen to it. It's off, completely off while I'm golfing. I don't want it on because if I have it on, in an average week I get around 3,000 emails a week. Now, on top of that, let's say I put out 4 videos like I normally do, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and and then the live stream, and so that's 5 different pieces of content that I put out. I might get an additional 115 notifications, 200 notifications on just comments that people have left. If I make a community post, I may get 100, 200 people who will post, or comment or, say something about it. And then YouTube on top of that gives me notifications. Hey, this one here you just did got this many, comments or this many likes. You should reply to these people. It is a full-time job in itself just to take care of responding back and, answering questions and follow-ups and, keeping up with the emails that I get. I mean, and I just don't have time for it. And I'm really sorry that I don't, but I'm one person running all of this. And it really does add to the stress level. And we're doing our best, to make a go of it, I guess, be the best way to put it, to make a go of it all.
I ordered curtains.
We are going to have a set eventually, in the background here. It's just, we've got the...
And a better chair for Will.
Yeah. One where I'm actually the same height as her, or a little bit higher, taller.
No.
Because I'm obviously taller than she is.
No, he's very tiny.
He's
like, very small
she's
man.
like Oompa Loompa size, and I'm like Jolly Green Giant size.
I am a tall person. I am tall.
Well,
I'm taller
as in...
I'm taller than our toddler.
This is true. Barely.
He's over half as tall as I am.
Yeah, and he's only 4 years old. 4 years old, and he's already up past her hips.
Yeah.
So
he can headbutt me in the sternum now.
Yeah.
He's so tall.
He's tall.
But he's also super
tiny.
tiny.
He's gonna be tall like Daddy. Jolly Green Giant. Ho, ho, ho.
But he's so tiny. He's so weird.
Okay, we have the green screen still, but we're gonna put curtains up and and decorate this place besides this this fake tree back here. But it's I mean, we're not monetized, and we have to find the money. Where do we take the money from to get all this stuff? Luckily for me, I have this beautiful wife here, who is a heck of a bargain shopper.
I do love a bargain.
Yeah, and she really knows how to find the bargains. I don't have time in my days, to bargain shop, go find and pay for and get wrangle everything up. If I can't get it on the internet and and order it and have it shipped in, and then pick it up off my porch, I don't have time.
Resources. Using resources.
Resources. So, how do you feel my stress level has affected the family overall?
Whenever you're stressed out, you stress everybody else out.
Well, I'm sure of that, but has it affected my relationship with our children? Has it affected my relationship with you?
I love you very much.
Thank you. So do I.
Yeah.
I love me too.
You're a bear when you're stressed.
I know. You guys should see this whiteboard that's right over here. It's got numbers and dates on it for goals that I want to hit for my my channel. Those are the
So
dates. Those are the dates that I have to hit those subscriber numbers by.
the thing with stress, and this is for you, Will, as well as the audience, is it's been my experience that stress generally actually happens when you have competing goals. Not when you have one goal, but when you have competing goals. It obviously can happen when you have one goal, but it's always been my experience that most stress happens when you have competing goals. In Will's particular case, even though he probably doesn't recognize it, his competing goals are building his channel and spending time with his family. And they can't happen simultaneously. He can't be building his channel while also spending time with his family, which increases his stress load.
That's definitely true. I mean, I could film, and edit in the house because I'm the primary care provider for my son. Monday through Friday. Because she's working, she's coming and going from home.
I get the snuggles.
Yeah, she gets all the snuggles. So either me and my son have to go to bed at like 6 o'clock at night. Otherwise I'm never going to get any snuggles.
Mama gets the snuggles.
What about the daddy snuggles?
I get the morning snuggles and I get the nighttime
What
snuggles.
about daddy wants some snuggles?
And I get all the snuggles.
I get to read him books.
I get to read him books too.
Yeah, but you get all the snuggles and the books.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to snuggle while you read books.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that.
I get all the snuggles.
He wants to sit on me.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, he does. Poor Will. Whenever Taco wants him to read him a book, he'll literally pounce on him and just.
But as I'm able to bring in air, I can make another word and read it. But my point was that I lost it now.
That's okay. You'll find it again.
No, I can't.
Nope, it's gone.
All right, so
Bye.
yeah. I know that I don't understand. I don't necessarily agree with your point about the competing goals.
If you think about it, though, if you only had one thing to do, one thing that was priority for you, you could just buckle down and do it.
Well, yeah, but your point was competing goals. Make stress.
Mm-hmm. When you realize that
if I had nothing competing in this world, and I was doing just a YouTube, and that was my only worry, I would still be 100% stressed out over that.
But it would be a different kind of stress. There's different kinds of stress. There's eustress and distress.
I'm stressed to the point where I'm going to have a freaking aneurysm. My head's just going to go.
There's productive stress, and then there's distress. There's the amount of stress.
Okay, I have a lot of distress then.
There's the amount of stress that a person is under that helps them perform and get things done. And then there's a measure of stress which makes somebody unproductive because the stress is just so overwhelming. And there's the kind of stress another form of distress is the kind that interferes with your personal relationships.
I have all those.
I just want to.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, I stress about things that are so far out of my control. I can't. I check my subscriber level of this channel in particular. Okay, let's just use this as an example. Last week we had 310. We lost 5, gained 5, and I was watching the subscriber total click down, 310, 39, 37. And mm-hmm. down. And I was like, why are people unsubscribing? Why can't I reach out and find these people and say, hey, is there something wrong? If you just tell me what's wrong, I'll fix it. I want to make everything right in this world. I know that's wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like,
not every channel is going to fit everyone's needs. And that's okay.
Everybody should love me. Everybody should they should subscribe.
Not everybody wants to sit here and listen to me talk about video games.
Well, nobody wants to hear me drown on about some child being murdered either. But
I don't want to.
I mean, a lot of people do.
I don't want to.
Oh.
So.
Somebody? Oh, am I doing a lot of this and I should be doing this?
What? Not when you were talking about your other channel. You keep that content on the inside because I don't want to hear about children being murdered.
But it's for our relationship here. You said you love me, but you never answered the question.
I love you a
How
lot.
does my stress?
You're such a sweet man.
You're not answering the question.
I hate it when you get stressed out.
Yeah, that was all you said.
Yeah, I know.
And then you changed the subject.
Well, that's because if something bothers you, rather than just complaining about it, see if you can provide a solution or some insight. I can't make you be less stressed, but I can help give you some insight into why you're stressed, and maybe you can use that to help relieve your stress. The root of all stress is the giving of fucks. If you give no fucks, there's no stress to be had. Bring your fucks back in from the field and hold them close to your heart.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we'll never be able to put this on iTunes or anywhere.
Oops.
This is going to be another one of those episodes they're just, I called them the lost episodes because she curses like a sailor.
We're not monetized.
Well, we're not monetized. We're never going to get monetized. And we're never going to be able to put this up through Red Circle so it gets sent out to all the other podcast channels in audio form because you curse like a sailor. You have.
I said one. One.
Nice words. Use your nice words.
That was my nice words.
Nice clean words, not your naughty words.
The only thing that makes a word bad is the listener.
Okay, so talk about stress.
Well, actually,
what are some ways?
Before we get back to that, I would like to stress. So, in my sophomore year of high school, we did a small-scale study where we replaced certain dirty words with innocuous words. And it took about, 2-3 weeks before we weren't allowed to say bread anymore because they realized that we had substituted bread for fuck.
Okay, you could have just said the F word. You didn't have to actually say the actual word. All right, so what are some good ways to deal with stress?
Blog. Some good ways to deal with stress.
Let's leave the viewers with something positive.
What are some good ways to deal with stress? Well, personally, I like to de-stress by playing video games. That is one of my favorite things. It can be, especially when you're running a stealth game and yet you keep screwing up because you're trying to go after the big baddies, but you keep, bumping into stuff. Also, the crates that explode when you walk past them. I have no idea what you're talking about. So, it's something I like to do, but not everybody enjoys that. Some of them are too stressful. If gaming is something that you like to do, but you're trying to de-stress, maybe, a creative mode game or something like that, there's different things that you can find in that venue. Good ways to manage stress. The best way, in my opinion, is first off to look at what is stressing you and take an honest look at it. Is it, like I said, it's been my experience, and it's not necessarily universal, but it's been my experience, the most stressful things are competing importance. You want to do X, and you also want to do Y, and you cannot do them both. In that situation, evaluate each one and see which one you can prioritize or whether or not there's something that you can do concurrently. Such as, say you're doing something for work and it's very important and yet you also want to spend time with your children. Is there something that you can do for whatever this work project is that you can get rolling, that once that's going, you can then step back and then spend some time with your family and then go back to? Sometimes not, in which case you have to be honest with yourself and with everybody else involved about what your expectations are. And that's going to be really, really hard because we want to be able to do everything, but we can't. So if, again, in this example, people who are realistic. If in this example you are happening to finish a work project and you are also wanting to spend time with your family and you find that you can't, be realistic with your family about, I have to do X and it will take approximately this amount of time. That way they're aware and you're aware. And it's very difficult, I know, for a lot of people to scale back their responsibilities at work, especially if you are in a position of responsibility and stuff like that. And not everybody has this, especially for people that work in the service industry. A lot of people don't have the capability of just taking a day, but if you do, I sincerely recommend just taking a day. If you find yourself getting to a point where your work responsibilities are overwhelming your family responsibilities, and that's a point of stress, if you're able to just take a day, just take a day. And if not, see if you can scale back a little bit. Some other good ways of mitigating stress are taking a long shower. I mean, sometimes simple things
With a
are.
4-year-old, that's hard. It's hard.
Hey, babe, I gotta take a quick shower. No!
Jump in,
Hour and a half
soap
later.
off, jump out. Oh.
Yeah, taking a long shower. Or, and I know this is really hard. Here's one of the big problems. 2020, people have had their hours cut back. They've had their pay cut back.
They
Sometimes,
lost their jobs.
yeah, a lot of those little indulgences that we used to do that helped us feel better, we just don't have access to anymore. And, God, that's super tough, guys. I feel for, I know people who've lost their businesses. It's so rough.
So again, what are some ways that I can, or somebody out there who may be a YouTube creator can de-stress, relieve the stress?
Well, the first thing to do is to isolate.
Don't be me.
Don't be Bill. Is it reasonable stress? Is the stress that you're feeling reasonable for what's going on? Do you feel distressed or do you feel energized? And I know that's a difficult concept, but there are different kinds of stress, and there is a level of stress that people do thrive under, and that level varies for every individual. And in different circumstances, you may find that the level of stress that you used to function well under suddenly becomes distressing when you have outside competing interests or something has happened. Everybody is different and everybody's situation changes almost daily. So we may find that we're continuing to operate the way we used to, and yet we're not feeling the way we're used to doing. And it could be because our tolerance for different levels of stress have changed. So one of the things I definitely recommend is just taking a moment to reevaluate. Yes, you used to be able to do X, Y, and Z, and you had no problem, but now you're feeling very, very stressed out. Is that because you can't do X, Y, and Z anymore? And if that's the case, can you restructure? Can you scale one back? Can you put one off? Reevaluation of your priorities and your goals is probably what you can do.
So, is there anything that you'd suggest? Yeah, I know, I see it. It's just opening a new file. So, would you suggest anything for me? Yoga, going for a walk.
Exercise does help, and it does help release endorphins that help calm you down and make you feel good.
Smoking weed.
You don't have enough money for weed.
I know. Well, I don't like the idea behind weed, anyways. But that's a whole other story.
I don't like that a plant exists. You don't like the idea behind weed.
Oh.
Fucking plants just existing and shit.
I'm just kidding. Jeez, don't take me seriously.
I don't like that milkweed happened.
Milkweed.
Fucking
I
thistles.
forgot all about milkweed.
Goddamn
I came up with a theory on how we could solve the world's problems if we just grew more milkweed. Can you drink milkweed? The milk from milkweed?
Okay, everybody, you have a fine
Don't
day,
take
and
my
we'll talk
advice.
to you later.
Please, no, and nobody eat milkweed
Don't
now.
eat milkweed. Don't.
I want to say that I deal with it better, with stress better, but I don't. It's gonna pop its ugly head again, and I feel bad, for what I've put my family through, to this point. But I've made a lot of changes when it comes to how I work now. That is actually helping relieve the stress a lot. I'm working smarter, not harder. I guess that's what everybody keeps on telling me. Work smarter, not harder. But I'm gonna keep on, working, and I'll probably work this way until I die. And I know I'm not insured for enough yet. I can't die.
Mm-hmm.
I know, and I can't pass a physical, so you can't get more life insurance. But you'll be able to make a go of it with what you have.
You guys have a fine day, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.